subscribe.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm Jacob Boone and this is Raising Boons, episode 4, Time Attack. And I want to start off by saying thank you. Again, I always thank you guys because without people that are actually bothering to listen and liking and subscribing and all the rest of it, I wouldn't be doing it. You know, you guys keep me going and keep me positive and make me think that not only am I slowly getting somewhere, but that people are listening and I may be helping people, which is ideally what I want to be doing. This episode's titled Time Attack, which you could say is somewhat ironic and slightly coincidental that it's titled that, seeing as it's pretty much 2 days late. And the last episode was a little bit late as well. So those of you that are watching on YouTube, you will notice that I'm in my work attire. And again, as usual, no paid promotions. This is not sponsored by Lynch or Keir. However, if they would like to, that would be wicked. But it's not, so ignore that, okay? But if you'd like to, it would be good. But it's not. It's not sponsored at all. I do this and take the time out of my day to record these videos and talk to basically a phone in a garage. You never know. Could work, might not. Who knows? Who cares? I'm enjoying it. So yeah, apologies for it being late, and again, a big thank you. Now, the reason I wanted to talk about time, and it's quite apt that I'm actually in my oranges still, and that's because being a parent, a working parent, you just don't ever have enough time. Now, maybe some people do. Maybe it's just my job. Maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's having the 2 kids instead of 1. Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm not managing my time well enough or correctly enough as a parent. Who knows? But all I know is this last week, to be honest, I've been struggling since going back to work. Christmas was so good. I had so much fun at Christmas. I had such a lovely time with my family. And then I worked a few days leading up to it. I could have broke up on the 20th, but I worked a few extra shifts just to help with like money and stuff over Christmas, which was great. You know, once the money came in, it was fantastic. We didn't have to worry over Christmas at all. Nobody went wanting for anything. I had a fantastic Christmas. It was just nice, just doing fuck all. Like everyone was like, "Oh, what'd you do over Christmas?" I did this, I did that, and I had a great sense of pride in saying, "Yeah, I didn't really do much." And I really enjoyed the fact that I didn't get to do much. And I've touched upon this before. When you're a parent, doing fuck all is wicked. And what I mean by doing fuck all, and again, this all does link, it's all time based, is it's more time that I get to just sit and be with my family. I know a lot of parents are just, they kind of don't understand what I'm saying and want to get away from like the family as much as possible because the kids are doing their head in and they want to be down the fucking battle cruiser having a couple of Nelson Mandelas. We all like going to the pub. We all like a jar or two of Stella. I never really have been massively in the club scene, that's a lie, the pub scene. But, you know, I do see the sense of getting out with the lads and letting your hair down and things like that. And again, this all links, time. I don't see how people have the time. Maybe, like I said, maybe it's my job. But I spend so much time away from my family and my kids that really it's the last thing I want to be doing. And fair play, if that's what you want to do and that's your outlet and your release, then fair enough. And maybe that's why I've had such a problem with my mental health going back to work and things like that, is I just don't feel like I get enough time with my family. So then I can't imagine wanting to spend time away from them. Like, okay, yeah, I've been out and obviously you do have to go out and let your hair down. I'm all for that. And it's on a very rare occasion that I do go out. And the same for Kirsty. Kirsty doesn't go out much either. And obviously we both appreciate it when we do get to go out. We're not like dad for like the however many hours or mum for the however many hours. But still, while I'm out, I'm still thinking about them. You know, I still, it's not like I stopped being dad. People stop calling me dad, you know. Like, I go out for a drink and it's not like, Dad, I want some snacks. Or Dad, can you come wipe my bum? Or, do you know what I mean? Like, just madness like that. You don't get that. You're just you again. And, I wouldn't change that for the world. You know, I genuinely mean that. I would not change that for the world. I don't regret my decision to become a parent. I love my kids, but what I don't love is how time is it goes so quickly. It just goes so quickly. So I don't feel I get enough time with my kids as it is. And we're coming into the earthworks season, which when you work in earthworks construction is silly season. Anybody that knows about it, you'll know exactly what I mean by that. People that don't know about that, we work 7 till 7, and that is incredibly interesting. So yeah, it's hard graft. You're out of the house a lot. You don't see your kids a lot. Some people that will relate to this obviously stay away and things like that, and don't see your family Monday to Friday. And it's a bit, I don't understand how people do that and how they cope with that. And I understand why there's a lot of mental health problems and people struggle so much in construction. I really do. I really can relate to that because, like I said, after Christmas, I did not want to go back to work. I did not want to be leaving them behind. I didn't. Well, I'm not. I'll go on like I'm never going to see him again. But that's almost what it feels like. I enjoy their company so much. I've always wanted to be a parent. I've always wanted to be a dad. I've always wanted to be a good dad. And I appreciate being a good dad is setting good examples and going off to work and, showing. I like to think that I'm teaching Travis a lesson that I get up, I go to work. I don't really have many days off. Work may disagree, but I don't. Genuinely, if I'm having days off, it's because of the kids. Apart from where I was ill last week and I was pretty rough, and I'm bunged up again, wicked. But I'm not as bad this time, so I'm cracking on with it. But that's what I mean. Last time it knocked me for 6. And again, I just enjoyed the time of being at home. Yeah, I was ill as fuck, but just to see like the kids and stuff and Kirsty for an extra few hours a day, it just means so much to me. Which is again another reason why I wanted to try this. Like if this took off, like I'd love to think I could stay at home, keep making these videos, almost like let's be real, get paid to do it. Like all these crazy ones you see on YouTube and MySpace and Bebo and that. Obviously, the last two are a joke, but you get what I'm saying. People are paid to do this, and I don't want to be one of them like influencers that just yeah man, I got this new iPhone and it does this, and you should get this iPhone and you should get this projector, and I don't want to be that. No, I want to just stick to doing these videos and just talking. And maybe, granted, I wouldn't have the work aspect to talk about like I am now and how much it affects me, and how much I appreciate time. But I'd then have more time to spend with my kids, so I'd be a lot happier. I'd have new experiences because I'd be like a stay-at-home dad, and this is all massively far-fetched because it probably won't happen. But there's that part of me inside that thinks, you know what, it could happen. I've got 43 subscribers in probably a month now. All right, it's not loads. I'm not up there with like the best of them, but they all started somewhere. They all started somewhere. People that have listened to it give me decent feedback. One lad at work, Colin, he was gutted he didn't get a shout out. Well, I'll tell you what, Colin, you listen to this one, bosh, there's your shout out. Another lad, my boss, Ollie, today, he said to me that chips do count as a vegetable. All right, fair dues, yeah. To be fair, yeah, they probably do, man. They're a potato, they do count, innit? Shout out to the potato crew. So yeah, and it's nice. Hearing things like that means the world to me. It's just, again, where I'm putting time, which I don't have a lot of, into doing things like this, to then hear people's yeah, man, I listen to this and having little bits of comments and feedback and stuff like that. It means the world. So that's nice. That's really nice, I must admit. But this is where the work thing's hard. So I'll get home from work. My boy will want to play with me, flat out. First thing he says, Daddy, can you play with me? And I would love to be able to just be like, yeah, man, let's sit here. And I do, don't get me wrong. I do. Today, granted, all right, screen time, things like that, that's something else I'm going to touch upon. But we sat and we played the Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, right? He loves it. He loves all these fighting games, Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo's. And this is where I said that this would take like a gaming theme because I love gaming. I would, honestly, that for me now is better than going out. If I could sit down with a good game, couple of beers, chill with the missus, you know what I mean? Sweet, that is my ideal, perfect evening. So yeah, like all the fact that he's getting into like all these games. What else has he has he been playing with? Marvel vs. Capcom 3, which takes me back to being a kid. I'm playing with my mate Quinn. He used to love that game. He used to beat my ass at that game, but that was Marvel vs. Capcom 2. But yeah, man, like I think it was on the Dreamcast as well. What console that was. So we used to spend hours like playing games like that. So again, the fact that I can now do that with my boy and he's actually all right, you know, he's not like he's just running around and just holding the stick to go like a direction. He can play. Like granted, he's not like up to my levels, which everybody that knows me isn't exactly hitting the fucking heights, and he will soon be there. But still, you know, I long for that day. I long for that day that he genuinely beats me at a game, and I go, do you know what, fair play. And if it's something like FIFA or FC25 as it's now known, give that probably a year or two, and he'll be beating me. You know. And again, anyone that's played me at that will know that. So yeah, I'll come in and I'll sometimes do that. I'll sit there and be like, right, come on in. I'll play this with you for half hour. Or he loves, he's got a newfound love for Marvel and superheroes and things like that. So he's just got like action figures and stuff that we play. Batman and then all the Imagine X stuff, which is wicked, by the way. He sits and plays with that. He's got loads of that. My missus has been banging that on Vinted, just getting loads of gear off there for cheap. And it's so cheap. That's a big tip right now. If you want to get some toys cheap, and you're not massively proud about the fact it's not brand new and shiny, Vinted is an absolute gold mine for that. So dip your toes into Vinted if you haven't already. And again, none of this is all paid. I'm just trying to help people out and save a few nicker. Because trust me, everything's fucking expensive. All right. So we'll play with things like that. And then it's like, right, I've done that. Now I've got to do this. And where obviously Kirsty's 9 times out of 10 had both of them all day, it's again hard. So you'll have days where both of them are cool and quite chilled and you can crack on and get bits done around the house, or you'll have other times where you can't even leave one of them. You literally, there's been times where Kirsty's had to go to the toilet and Harrison's in the bouncer in front of her because it's the only way that he won't kick off. You do stuff like that as a parent, you know. We went for a little period where I'd have Harrison in like the carrier and I'd have him in front of me and I'd be going around like doing the hoovering or washing up or something like that. The washing up's quite tricky because he's there in front of you and he's trying to get everything and you're trying to wash up and it's carnage. It's absolute carnage. But these are the things you do as a parent to try and maximise the time you have, you know? So I'll be like, right, I've got to do this, that and the other in this amount of time. And I get myself worked up about it. Because I'm like, I just want the house to be tidy. I want the kids to be happy and played with. I'm anxious that I've got home and it's nearly bedtime. I'm anxious that I'm home and it's nearly our bedtime because Travis might not want to go to sleep. Look at me now. I'm recording this. What's the time now? Quick glance at that. It's 9:15 and I'm recording this. I'm still in my oranges. You know, that is being a parent. That is being a parent. I'd love to be able to just be like, right, come through the door, shower, bosh, let's play, bosh, let's do dinner, bosh. Let's do this, bosh, bedtime, bosh. But then I'm like, I don't want to rush to bed. I want Travis to go to bed. And that again, I don't like it, but I want him to go to bed. I want him to get into this routine. And we try it every night. We bang the Tonys on and all this, that and the other. I've touched upon this already. And we're still struggling with that. And that's getting to me. The last few nights, it's been awful. And I have to be authoritative, and I hate being authoritative. It's not me, but I appreciate I'm the dad, and I have to be authoritative, and I do that by not shouting. I don't shout. Okay, I very rarely shout, very very rarely. And again, anybody at work that knows me, and I've obviously got a leadership role, I don't really shout. It's not me. It's not in. I'll talk my feelings out and express them and explain them to you. Same with Travis, I'll explain like, look, and I'll do the counting down thing, and again, it's all time based and things like that. So I'll count down from 5, but I'll explain why I'm counting down from 5 and what's going to happen if I get to the end of it. And it's usually we've found the only way to get through to him is toy based. You know, count down from 5. If I get to 1, you've still not done what I'm asking you to do, then I'm going to take one of your toys away, and the only way you get it back is by going to bed and being good, and you can have it back in the morning. I hate it. I hate doing that. And I get that it partially is probably because he doesn't see me a lot as well. He's telling me he's not tired, and I get that. I'm not around as much as I'd like to be, and then I'm working weekends and things like that, and it's more time that I'm not spending with my kids. But the price of everything's gone through the roof. We got, you know, Harrison will be going back to work soon. Kirsty's maternity's running out. So whereas she had like really good maternity at the start and getting really good pay, that's now dwindling down. So then where we were sort of balancing it, I'm now picking up the pieces, and that is fine. I have no problem with that. I'm not moaning about that. I appreciate that as my role as the father and the breadwinner, and I love that. I relish that. That's not my issue, but I miss being at home with the kids and with the missus. I'd love to have the best of both worlds, you know, or I'd love to be on like fucking 2 grand a week or something mental. It'd be ace. Do you know what I mean? And like all this, I don't understand how people are gonna get like companies have signed up for 4 day working weeks, right? And they're gonna pay people the same amount of coin. That's not gonna work in construction, is it? You're not gonna get that in construction. Like people that are going for that, fair play. Like I'm super jealous. Maybe I should have done harder, like worked harder at school. Maybe all those people that said I wouldn't amount to anything, that kind of sat there like, well, you know, had you have gone to school and got a nice office job where you tap 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 on a keyboard every day and talk amongst yourselves at the water cooler about what shit you watched on EastEnders last night. Nah, not me. All right, stick your 4 day week if that's the case. But you wouldn't get that in construction. You would not get a 4 day week in construction. You think HS2 is taking long enough, yeah? Doing 5, 6, 7 days a week. Try doing 4 days a week and paying people the same amount of coin. Now that is a robbery. You see? Wouldn't work, would it? Might work for all the office lot. Fair dues to you. Not those out on a coal face. Wouldn't quite work, would it? Nah. You know? Deadlines have got to be hit. So, a 4 day weekend at one. So I'm not going to get that wish. I'd like it. Everyone would like it. Be wicked if you had like rotated teams, you know, like I could work 4 days, then I'd get my 3 days off, and then the following week I'd do like, you know, 3 days and get 4 days off. I mean, that's fantastical, but good with words, aren't I? Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm trying to say? Like where there was a way of like gangs come in and you was always then basically site was always working, but you weren't always working the quota of hours. That'd be wicked. Or just anything that I could spend a bit more time at home would be great. Because again, I get it. You know, all dads must go through it, and I don't know necessarily whether all dads, of course, all dads love their kids, but maybe some aren't quite as engaging as others, and that's fine. Everyone's got their own way of dealing with shit. But me personally, I hate missing out on these milestones. I got quite lucky with Travis that he kind of said his first proper word in front of me while Kirsty was at work. Like the odds of that are quite low, really. And even when he started doing like the mum, dad sort of thing, that was in front of me again with Kirsty at work. And his first proper word that wasn't like and I don't really count mum, and dad, because they're just sort of noises they're exploring. But the first word he come out with, of all things, was, and it's the cutest video. It's the way he says it. It will be forever lodged in my memory. Was tree, right? But the way he said it, we're playing with some Lego, and there was a little Lego tree, and he just looked at it and just tree. But the way he like elongated the e's, and it was just like I was like, mate, say that again. Say that. Go on, say that again. And tree. And he like, oh man, honestly, what a video. What a video. And I was so lucky to be able to record it and be there and see that, you know. And it's ace. Shit like that's fucking wicked. But again, I'm lucky that I got to see that. And yeah, obviously, I'm not just going to sack work off and rely on benefits and things like that. We'd lose the house. I've got a lovely house. You know, I've worked hard to keep the roof over our head, and I've got help in getting the house. So I don't want to fuck that up. You know. So yeah, I just maybe I need to manage my time better, and maybe you guys out there got a good idea of how I can manage my time better. Because lo and behold, by the time I've done this video, I've gone in and had a shower. Luckily, I've eaten, so I've made dinner, which is sweet. Travis is asleep. Happy days. But by the time I've done this and had a shower, like, I'm close to needing to go to bed myself. Got work again tomorrow, obviously. I need my beauty sleep. It's hard as well. I've got a duty of care that I need to look after myself, so that I can ultimately be as good as I can be, at work. Otherwise, again, there's if I'm not performing, then they'll soon want to get rid of me and bring someone in that can perform and do a better job and that isn't knackered, or So it's hard. It's hard. It's fucking hard. All right. There's no like difficulty settings, which I've said before as well, and it's no game being a parent. Trust me, there is. It's not. I love it to pieces, but it doesn't get any easier. I don't think it ever will. But I'd like to think that my management of time, maybe as I get older, will get better. And look, I'm saying about Travis kicking off about not going to bed, and like last night, I lost an hour and a half in trying to get him to sleep. An hour and a half of my evening gone, and then by that point, I got a raging ump, and I'm like, what's the point? I might as well just go to bed because I'm not good company to keep at that point. And it's again, I'm just wasting time, which is so precious. It is so precious. Because then you go down the route of like, well, fuck it, I'll stay up then. I'll stay up because I don't want to go to work tomorrow. Everyone else is asleep, and I'm just there awake. Sweet. I've got the missus snoring like I don't know, like some massive jumbo jet taking off. Harrison's asleep as well, face down, which is mad. Seeing a baby sleep like on his front is a bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, it's fucking strange. I'm not used to that. Travis wasn't like that. He like sleep on his side a little bit, but face down's a bit freaky. But yeah, like I just find that sometimes it's just me and the cat there awake, just chilling. What am I doing? But I'm just clinging on to those last couple of minutes of that Sunday before I shut off, before that alarm's going off. And well, I'm not hearing the alarm. Kirsty hears the alarm. She comes and wakes me up because 9 times out of 10 I'm in with Travis. Because again, that's another thing that we can't break, is he has to fall asleep with one of us. But yeah, time is crazy because when, again, you'll be at work and the day will drag. The day will drag. You can have the busiest of days. You can be flat out. And a lot of people will be like, fucking hell, Jake, you're never flat out. Well, trust me, we get busy, all right? And you will look at the clock and you'll be like, how is it 10 past 11? I feel like I've been here a lifetime. It's 10 past 11. I've got hours left. Like, what is going on? What is going on? I'll get through the door and the complete opposite. I feel like I've been in the house like all of 5 minutes. I look at the clock and I'm like, how is it 9:45? Where is the evening gone? And a lot of people can relate to that, even if you're a parent or not. A lot of people will relate to that. I'm sure everybody's evenings like fly by, and they do say that when obviously time flies when you're having fun. Of course it does. Again, I'm not trying to spout off anything new here. Everybody knows that. I'm telling you how I feel personally about time and how it does literally attack me. It will creep up out of nowhere that I need to go to bed, or when I think I'm winning and getting through the day, and I look at the time and it's like, nah, mate, fuck off. You've still got another 6 hours here, then you got a decent drive home and all. Crack on, wicked. And the irony as well for those that are watching is that what I contain my whiskey in currently is a Alice in Wonderland glass with a rabbit on it, and it says on the top, late for everything, time related. Just pulled it out of the cupboard. What are the chances? I'm actually not late for everything. My mother is 100%. Even got the nickname Nanny Late Late to distinguish between the two nannies. You got Nanny Woof Woof and you got Nanny Late Late. My mum is Nanny Late Late. My mum will be late for her own funeral, let me tell you. Honestly, love her to pieces. Best mum in the world, alright? But do not ask her to get you anywhere on time. She's going to kill me for saying this, but I'm going to bring it up because it is all time related. Sorry, mum. When I was younger, I had some tickets to go and watch England at Old Trafford. Back before the new Wembley was built. That's how old I am. Never was lucky enough to go to the old Wembley, so granted, I'm not quite that old. But I was on the way to Old Trafford, and it was mum with a mate and one of my mates again. I think it was Quinn, actually. We were going off to see England. I want to say it was England-Austria. Could be wrong. Anyway, we won 1-0. David Beckham scored a penalty. We didn't see the penalty. The penalty would have been right in front of us at Old Trafford. However, we arrived at half fucking time. Half time for a game when you've travelled hours to get to Manchester, a good 3-4 hours. We were late. Shock, So yeah, that's Nanny Late Late for you. But again, this isn't like, that's just who people are. That's not my mum's fault. People are like that. People are programmed like that. My mum can't help it. It has then pushed me to make sure that I'm always on time, or I get the raging hump. But I kind of then take it to the extreme that I'll get to places like, I don't know, sometimes 15, 20 minutes early. But early bird catches the worm and whatnot. So yeah, another thing I'd love as well, work wise and time related, is it'd be great if we had more daylight early doors. I would love that. I'd start at like 5 in the morning if it meant that I finished early and got home at a decent time and got to, just be at home more. That'd be ace. I'd be all over that. Let's send it. Can we not get like big lights set up so we can do that? I might have to ask. But yeah, I think what I need to take away from this and this rant, because it is a rant, this one, to be honest, and the fact that it's been late, is I need to manage my time better. I really do. I don't know how. I really don't know how. But I'll figure that out. But what I will say is, and this is another scary thing, is since I've been a parent, I feel time moves faster than it did before. And I don't just mean like your hours and your minutes. Like, and I get, obviously scientifically it can't. Maths is maths. A second is a second. A minute is a minute. An hour is an hour. That doesn't change. What I mean, like, it feels like it internally. Like, Travis is 4. Travis starts school in September. Travis will be 5 in September. It only feels like yesterday. And I know a lot of people use that quote, but genuinely, it only feels like yesterday that I was hearing him say those first words of tree. And that we went through that ordeal where he was born, and and it's mad. Like, Harrison's 7 months already. He's 7 months old. He's going to be a year in July, and again, that's just fucking frightening. Again, like, only feels like yesterday that we were walking around Stevenage and just trying to kill time, and that we were going to go home because nothing was happening, and it's just mad. It's just so absurd to think that 4 years, nearly 5 years, has gone like that, within the blink of an eye. So appreciate the little things, appreciate the little moments, appreciate all the little victories, and appreciate just spending some time and just chilling. Like, I quite like just sitting on the floor with Harrison. I just sit on the floor with him sometimes, just sit and play with his toys. And granted, 9 times out of 10, it's just to keep the peace. I'm not telling you I'm no perfect father. It's just to keep him from shouting and screaming. He likes the fact that you'll just sit there with like a nice noisy rattle and you're giving it some of this, like a maraca, which doesn't work if you're listening, but I'm shaking my hand like a lunatic, like I've got an invisible maraca. So there's things like that you do as a parent. Granted, 1, to keep the peace, but 2, you're interacting with them, and it is stuff like that I'll remember. I'll look back on and laugh in a few years' time. I'll sit there thinking, and me and the missus will have the crack about it in 10 years' time as well, when he's like 14 and stuff, and they're all both at the house, and God knows up to doing whatever, He wouldn't be 14, that's terrible maths, he'd be 10, and Travis would be 14. Anyway, digressing, maths isn't very good, and clearly my timekeeping isn't either. Yeah, we'll just be reminiscing and talking shit and having a crack about the silly things that we did, and again, that's 10 years' time. But I bet it feels like it's been all of 10 minutes' time by the time I get there. And that's worrying. That is worrying. And that's why, again, I like the fact that I'm doing these. Because there will come a time that I'm not here and Kirsty's not here. And at least the boys can look back and watch these. Provided nothing goes drastically wrong and that YouTube don't get shut down or something mad. And, these videos will outlive me, and they'll always have a memory. They'll always have something they can look at and hear my voice and stuff. So it's cool in that respect, isn't it? I'm going to end on a right morbid note there, and but look, thanks for listening. It's been nice just getting it off my chest. I am struggling a little bit. It is hard being a parent. It is hard not seeing your kids and trying to balance the work life and the parent life. And I am trying my best. I've got a big weekend coming up. You might have another late video. I'm off down to Henley-on-Thames with my family. It's been a nice little surprise for my grandma. So nobody show grandma this, for fuck's sake, because it will ruin it. But yeah, we're off down to Henley for her. Probably going to be our last trip down there. So my next video could be a little bit delayed again, but at least I'll give you guys fair warning this time, you know. So don't shoot the messenger. Sweet. Thank you very much for listening. Please do the usual. Travis is my little advertiser with the old like, share, subscribe video. I think it's the cutest video ever. You lot are probably sick to death of seeing it, but I don't think it'll ever get old. Thanks for listening, guys. Have a lovely evening. Have a lovely day. Enjoy your week. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your kids. Peace.